The lord of the castle has called for heroes to come to his aid and defend him against the mad Dr. Junkenstein.
Halloween has rolled around, and with that comes another Overwatch Halloween event. This year's got a ton of new challenge modes, got some skins, finally got a Genji skin, so the people will stop they'll complain less. Overwatch Halloween has always been one of my favorite events. I have very distinct memories of me and my friends playing Junkenstein for the first time, achievement hunting all of them on Legendary mode and Endless mode, and it just also has some of the very best skins in the game. Which brings us to this skin right here, which is tied with this one for the very best skin in the entire game, in my opinion. And most people like Witch Mercy the best. I mean, I think it's a great skin. I just don't know why it's so popular. I mean, I don't know why people would want it so bad. But anyway, seeing as it's this time of the year, I wanted to get into the holiday spirit with nothing other than an Overwatch minifigure. So I hope you enjoy. Here are the timestamps from future me before we get into the figure itself. Let's get into some of the interesting history of this figure. Interesting and, you know, in quotations.
I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld...
So like the Dragon Symmetra figure I did last year, I actually planned on doing this one a year before I actually did it. And boy am I glad I didn't, because this is what the headpiece would have looked like if I actually went through with my design last year. Look at that. So yeah, in hindsight, I am sure glad I waited till I had a little bit more skill to do this one, because it came out, in my opinion, a lot better. And I think, in anybody's opinion, you know, mine, fall down the road, God, it looks a lot better. So I'm really glad I waited. But while I'm glad I didn't do the actual figure last year, I am glad that I did some of the sculpting, because it one, gave me a little bit of a baseline for the second one and some of the base things that I would do. And two, I sculpted the shoulder pads over here, which is something that I actually used this year. I used the shoulder pads that I sculpted last year for this figure because, hey, they look pretty nice, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? And also, I couldn't manage to sculpt them that good again, maybe it's because of my sausage fingers. But for some reason, I just couldn't do it. They were right there, and I was like, don't fix it, don't break it. That's not the same. And I initially molded knee pads too, the knee pads as minifigure separately, but I wanted to ditch those to have a style for the figure to model Legos as best as possible. And Lego style, for those of you who don't know, they only do custom molded head pieces, shoulder pieces, and like back pieces. They don't, and occasionally stuff on the waist. They don't do like any 3D things. And for me personally, I know it takes a lot of time and effort, but I don't like the minifigures and the custom minifigures that have like all this 3D stuff on them. I like the simple 2D mini, flat minifigure designs. I like those personally. I like Lego style, so I wanted to implement that. But back then, I just didn't know what style I wanted to use on the figure. Did I want to mix it up? Who knows? So I actually molded those, didn't end up using them, and you know, that's that. So that what covers the history of the figure. Now on to the actual figure itself. Let's take a look at some of the more detailed views of this figure, huh? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a more detailed look at this molded piece later on, so I'm actually going to take this off for a little bit, just to show what's underneath. And yeah, I actually didn't paint up here because, hey, if it's hidden, why would I paint it and waste my time on it? So yeah, that's going to look a little weird, but I just wanted to show more details on the back, which is kind of hard when you got this floating around. Alright, so we can start at the front view, taking a look at the torso piece over here. All of that I had to custom paint, and all of that I had to, you know, make the skin tone as close as possible with the actual minifigure head itself, which for that head I actually used the Widowmaker minifigure from the actual Overwatch line. So I had a baseline at least for the skin tone for the rest of the figure, but I also had to make the entire skin tone match that face, so it was a bit of a challenge, but it went pretty alright, I think. And we're just going to move on and go to the side view here, which I think that the golden pieces up here on the head actually came out pretty decent, and the back piece as well. I just really wish that I was able to get these front pieces a bit more symmetrical on each side and a bit better, because if you guys didn't know, which I don't know why you would, but this front talon piece that arcs down and is kind of part of these like claws that go down the side here, those claws make this look really funky, because what it's supposed to do is those are supposed to come like over it and it's supposed to meet like underneath, but I just couldn't get the look of that right, and that just kind of made it a little wonky, but I think it did alright. You can see a bit of the poison / grapple mechanism going on right here in this gauntlet piece that I made. Yeah, that one's a really easy one to come across. I just had to paint the gold, and then I had to paint this little design over it layer by layer, so that one turned out alright. And then we're just going to go on to the back here, which is probably some of the best stuff, but not really. You just have some of the more back detailing of everything going on. And yeah, that's about it for that. You have some of the skin tone showing underneath, which I initially forgot about and painted the entire thing this black color, and then had to do that later, but hey, it worked out. We have the dual colored leggings going down over here, and the pants going down to the gold boots going on. And this is one of the figures I actually did paint the inside of. I actually did take the time, and that's one of the things that I do appreciate I took the extra time to, because I think it does end up making it look a lot better than just leaving it white. I don't know why I used to do that before, but it just, makes it look better. And then just moving on to the other side, you can kind of see some of the asymmetry going on the legs. That's something I would change, but for right now, I think it's pretty alright. And then just going on to the other side with the golden indents, which again, I'm pretty happy with on that mask. And then we're just going on to the front. You can also see some of the skin tone that had to shine through or overlap from the front onto the side view to create a more seamless look to the side of the minifigure. And that is basically all the views of said figure. Now moving on to the big molded piece up here. Honestly, this is probably my favorite part of the figure. I really enjoyed making it, and I really like how it came out. Originally I was a bit skeptical. I was like, oh, are these indents, perfectly positioned? Is it too wide? Is it too skinny? But looking at the actual figure itself, or the actual skin itself, I should say, in the game, combined with what I used to have, I like it. I like it quite a bit. I think it's pretty dang nice, and I'm really appreciative of it. If there's anything with my Overwatch Halloween minifigures, that at least the molded pieces are really on point, I believe. So that's something I'm really happy with. But you can just see how I kind of made the base tail and the base structure over here, and then I kind of just added everything else onto it. All these panels up here, if it can focus, which having a bit of a hard time today. So all these panels up here, and then the base panels, and then I also added just the spikes up here and all the gems as like the third layer. And then actually I molded the tail minus this piece, and then this piece was stuck on later, and then I put the gems on third. And then that's just kind of how this thing gradually came together. But I think it looks pretty dang nice.
And suddenly, to my surprise,
that's my Scorpion Widow. I'm pretty happy with this figure overall. It isn't my best, and I'm pretty sure it shouldn't exist because it pales in comparison to the actual skin and how much I like that one so much. But I think I did a pretty good job, because this figure's whole idea was I wanted to see if I could speed run a minifigure and make it look reasonably good, but also not take a lot of time into it. Because Halloween Overwatch was right around the corner at the time of making this, and I had like maybe a few days to do this. And this took me like maybe under 24 hours of total work to be able to get this thing done. So I tried to sacrifice a little bit of quality in this for the sake of quantity, and see if that would work. And I think it did, and I think it worked out pretty alright. And I'm pretty happy with it overall. As in most of my figures, I didn't really like the first design when I laid it out, but eventually I changed it for the better through the gradual layers of paint. Originally the chest piece was too small, the armor there, so I had to gradually make it bigger. And it's just generally improved over time, which is typically what happens when I'm working on these figures. Or I work on it too much and it gets worse, but luckily that didn't happen here. I know Overwatch content has been pretty absent from this channel for some time, and I know that's what some of you guys have subscribed solely for. So I'm soon going to change that, as I have a lot of stuff planned, trust me. I had a lot of stuff planned for Overwatch 2 perhaps, but now that it's looking like no information's being released on that in a long time. I don't know what to do, so stay tuned for that. I'm planning on doing this this upload style from now on, a video every week and a half or so, but it takes more time and effort. I think it's a little bit more fun. I actually enjoy making those videos as opposed to shooting out garbage. So if you like the more like shorter, just explaining stuff videos and mock videos, I'm sorry, but I just can't do it anymore. I really like making videos that I'm proud of, like the Phantom 2 video that I made. I honestly was really proud of, and I'm really glad it did well. And well is in my channel's term, my dead channel's terms, but I'm really glad that it did well, and I was really happy with it. So that's kind of what I want to do from now on. That's it. I got a video already planned in the works, just waiting for my parts from Brickling to finish it, and I can get started. I got an Instagram if you want to follow that. I'm actually going to be doing a lot of stuff on there. I'm not doing anything on there right now, but I'm going to be doing a lot of like behind the scenes, you know, getting each video together, you know, minifigure process shots and all that stuff. So if you guys want to see that and chat with me, you can feel free to go over there. If you want to support my channel, I'm actually selling Lego instructions now, made specifically by me. Look like Lego instructions. If you want to go check those out, they're like maybe 99 cents to $3 each. That would be appreciated, as I do not wish to be broke. Okay, so I don't know how this will look with all the overlay transitions, but this is a cool Roadhog clip that I wanted to brag about.